What's with these guys?
Hello, everyone, and of course, welcome to Red United TV. It's your boy Ivorian Spice, and we're back at it again with the catch up volume 108, guys. Oh, it's been wonderful. But today, you know, as it always is, it's a show where we reflect on yesterday's game, the game before Manchester United, and that game against against Wolves. Sorry, I'm about to say West Ham for some reason, got the wrong team. Yep, that is game against Wolves is what we'll be discussing. Of course, I've got Jerome in the background. I was just introducing him in, but before we even get kicked off and get started, remember to subscribe to Red United TV as always. Smash that like button as well, guys, and share across all social media platforms. Follow Red United TV on Instagram as well, and follow myself, Ivorian_Spice on Twitter, and of course the same thing for the Instagram account, and last but not least, follow Red United on Twitch, and also for those who are watching on YouTube, if you want to become a member as well, you can click the membership button. But let's get straight into it because I've got my boy Jerome here. Jerome, big up to you, my brother, man. Yeah, I think we should be expecting a move, but I don't know what's going on. He said he'll set his alarm. But you just don't. You just never know with
It's
people.
probably sleeping, to be honest.
He's
It's been
probably
one of those
sleeping.
days.
Yes, he is. Well, what are you saying, my G, man? How you
Man.
been? How was your weekend, first of all?
Yeah, I'm all good. Weekend was blessed, very eventful, and then just back to the grind really. So it feels like I've just been out every day for the last few days. So it's been good to just be at home today working and just calm down a bit and just recharge, isn't it? So yeah, man, I can't complain. Just got to enjoy summer as much as you can until it ends.
I know the funny thing you said as well, Jerome, is that you recharge, but start off the week with a bit of Manchester United not really doing well in a game, but at least they got the 3 points at the end of the day, man. That's the main thing. But this is what we're here to talk about, guys. Smash that like button. Of course, see you guys on comments as well. Big up my guy Jesse Uptown. So big up everyone as usual. And of course, Maguire should cut and cut out the club. What the fuck is this behavior, bro? Acting like a little kid. Like, get the hell out of here or get the F out of here. That's what my boy Jesse Uptown is trying to say, you know, regarding Maguire himself, man. Hey, big up Munzi as well. Of course, big up Binzi. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Bouncing Off the Ropes podcast as well. Let's get straight into it, Jerome, because
Yeah, that game. Oh god. That, to
Wait,
be
let me
fair, I
let me
was.
just introduce
I'll
it
let you
properly. Let me
get
introduce
ahead
it
with it.
properly.
Yeah.
Guys, let's get straight into it because it is Manchester United 1, Wolves 0. The big bad Wolves tried to come to Old Trafford to huff and puff, but guess what? They didn't have their teeth on because they lost all their biting teeth. I don't know what happened because when they tried to bite Manchester United, their house, they couldn't do anything. They couldn't hurt Onana. In fact, Onana himself hurt them. Manchester United getting that goal from that guy, Rafael Varane, Champions League winner, World Cup winner, Rolls Royce getting that goal, important goal. But of course, the match itself, the performance wasn't there. Manchester United, of course, we can say that we were fortunate to get that win. I don't care about Wolves being unlucky. I don't even care about the penalty situation. Goalkeepers clashing into people. It's a contact sport at the end of the day. I don't give a shit, man. If it was my team, if it was against my team, maybe I'd be complaining. But because it's my team, I want the W. Don't give a shit, Jerome. What you saying? You're overthought. Manchester United versus Wolves. Just get it out there, man.
Well, you know what? I can't even lie. Like, I was excited during the lead up to the game because obviously we were the last to play in the first round of fixtures, and I was thinking, come on, let's just get off to a good, great start, get the confidence going, and everyone could just be in a good mood because we know what happened last season when we lost the first two games. But then at the back of my mind, I thought, Wolves, they're our bogey team, so even though we're excited about the first game, let's just make sure we just get the win as a priority because starting the season off with a defeat. Obviously, it's just the first game of the season, but it always puts you on a downer when you lose that first game. So it was a relief to get the win in the end. But I just, looking back at the game, I just think the team was just running on nerves. I don't know if it was because we were the last to play or whether the team just weren't physically ready, fitness-wise, with the pre-season. I'm not sure what was going on, but Wolves just looked like they were fitter than us. They were hungrier than us. They were winning all the second balls, even like the aerial duels. It just seemed like we were non-existent. And in the end, like you said, it was just a relief to get the win in the end. And it's a good step in the right direction, results-wise, compared to last season. So, but obviously it wasn't a comfortable watch. It was just one of those games where you were just hoping you just get the 3 points and just keep it moving. And obviously, it seems like we're getting a lot more stoppage time now, and which makes it feel like it's longer. I was looking at the clock like 97, 98 minutes. Like, come on, bro, just blow the whistle. We could just get out of there. But no, overall, it was a poor performance. I don't want to dig out individuals, but midfield was our main concern because we were just getting run through constantly at will for the large spells of the game, and I was just thinking, what is going on here? Like, when are we going to start making some changes? But then I was thinking, who could we possibly bring on to help give us some composure and get our foot on the ball in midfield or a bit of muscle? Obviously, he brought on McTominay in the end, but obviously we know that. Well, the consensus is that McTominay is not the long-term answer for our midfield. But up front, we were a bit timid. You can see how desperately we need a striker. I don't think Bruno and Mount can play together as a combination. It looks like they're just getting each other's way and they're playing the same sort of positions. And it kind of just left Casemiro holding the fort in midfield on his own against a vibrant and technically sound Wolves midfield. And yeah, it was just a nervous watch. It just wasn't one of those games where you could just sit down and just relax and just enjoy your team kicking ball and just creating lots of chances. We hardly created any chances, to be honest. I can't remember much clear-cut chances that we made. And Wolves were just creating chance after chance after chance. And it was just looking like there was only going to be one result. It looks like we were going to lose. And eventually Varane got us to go. It was almost like the fans got us to go, really, because the goal just sort of kind of came out of nothing. A good pass from Bruno to Aaron Bissaka, and obviously he sort of nodded it in for Varane to get on the end of it. And prior to that, it just looked like we were just all over the shop. And as soon as the manager eventually made the changes, rather belatedly, I must admit, then we looked a bit better. We looked like we had a little bit more composure. And I think Sancho definitely needs to start the next game, because when he came on, it looked like his enthusiasm sort of helped push us over the line. And I just think that the manager got the formation wrong. Really, I'm not sure what he was thinking with that midfield. Or I don't know if he was thinking that Wolves would just be a walk in the park, because it was anything but. I think we've got a lot to take away from this result. It just shows us that we need reinforcements in midfield. Also, we've got Højlund up front, but he's not yet fit. So I think we need to get another striker in. I'm not sure we're going to find the funds from, because it looks like we're just taking long to sell players. But something's got to be done in the transfer market, because we can't continue with this current setup. Otherwise, it's going to be a struggle, and we're going to have more performances like this. But one positive that I can take is that surely we can't get any worse than that performance, because that was one of the worst performances I've ever seen at home, where Wolves created 23 shots. And that was that was the first time that happened to us since 2005. That was Fergie time, prime Fergie time. Mm-hmm. So that shows you how bad the performance was. And it was just a relief to come away with 3 points. So, yeah, let's just see what happens. But, yeah, like I said, it can only get better from here. And a good positive is that we got the 3 points, and we didn't play well, but we won. And that is the mark of a good team, because a few seasons back, if we played badly, we would have just got beat comfortably.
Yep.
So it's a good foundation to go on. So if we play well and win, that's what we want. But if we don't play well, then it's the result, only the result that matters, really.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that one, because when I watched that match yesterday, I was extremely disappointed, Jerome. Not in the scoreline, more of like the performance, because like going throughout the whole weekend, as you said, we charged. Yeah, we went through the whole weekend watching other teams play, and we saw Arsenal win their game. We saw Man City spank Burnley. We saw Newcastle thump Aston Villa. A good opening weekend, and you're just thinking, you know what? I hope Manchester United do a team, because I have to go through the whole weekend waiting for my team to play, and it felt quite long as well when you have to wait for your team to play because they play last. And at the same time, Jerome, I wasn't even looking forward, because I hate it when we're the last team to play for the first game of the season. That means the spotlight is on us. The whole onus is on us. Everybody's watching, as they was on Monday, because we're the only Premier League team that was playing. Yeah. And I knew it was going to apply pressure. And I just thought to myself, if it's us, I know something booky will happen. Like, and then I will get lobbed, yeah. And then next, we concede early goals, and that's exactly why I thought this game was. I was not looking forward to it. And look at it. The game came to pass, yeah. And guess what? We only win 1-0, and the performance was horrible. I'm just going to big up Amok as well, as I was just saying. But yes, as the performance was horrible, the midfield was so open at times. Big Bad Wolf just walking right through. As I said it before on Flores' channel on Sarcasm City, we were a donut. We was a donut. We was a polo. We was onion ring, whatever you want to call it. Anything with a circle in it, whatever you can think of. Anything you can stick your hands into. Wolves was having their fun against us in the midfield. Mount and Bruno, Casemiro. I felt sorry for Casemiro himself, because he's 31. He can't do it all on his own. But Bruno and Mount, the way they were deployed, and I think it's a mistake on Eric Ten Hag's hand, and the way he just set them up, deployed them to make them so forward, and leaving that gigantic gap with Wolves themselves had fun. They had fun. Eric Ten Hag can take blame for that, but Mount sucks. I'll be honest with you. From what I've seen, yeah, in the preseason going up to now, that game, zero tackles, zero interception, just running grass and going up and down is what we saw. Kilometers probably had the highest because he covered a lot. He worked hard press, but contribution-wise, he did absolutely nothing. Bruno as well. Hollywood passes. That flick on, yes, got to Aaron Wan-Bissaka to cross it in. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, fantastic cross. Varane scores. But the whole game, 90 minutes, poor. Again, I will take this win any day, because last time last season we lost. Yeah, so we've made a correction from what we've done. That's one tick. Yeah, from what we fucked up with last season. Correction. the next game's against Spurs. We'll see how it goes. I'm a big up to you as well. Of course, let us know your thoughts on the game, Wolves versus Manchester United, as we're going around.
Yeah, like you did say, you just got to take the win because remember what happened last season as well. But to be honest, you said it all. Like it was performance we did not meet expectation, and we got like literally there are few players that actually stand out based on the new system the manager is trying to do. Like I said, I was really impressed with Wan-Bissaka yesterday. I believe he did well, going back and forth, like getting involved in attacking stuff, even his touches, passing. And I was like, this is something I've never seen from this player. I was impressed. But rather than that, it was just an average game. And it's just disappointing that we have to watch us do what we did yesterday. I don't want to judge Mount. I think this took a long way for him to go. He's going to settle down in well. But like you did say, from pre-season and yesterday's match, I haven't really seen anything yet. And I'm a big advocate for Mount. I like Mount. I think he's a very good player. But it's just the first game. No pressure. I just think we just need to take the win and understand that we got a lot of games coming up. I hope to see our team do what we need to do.
Yeah. And we'll look at that players-wise as well, guys. Jerome, any particular players that you would like to highlight first of all before I just get my pick?
Well, there's a lot of individually poor performances.
Let's start off with the first one.
The first one is obviously it's got to be Mason Mount. This is the obvious one because I barely knew he was playing. If I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what his role in the team was, but all I saw him do was either running around like a headless chicken or just misplacing passes or miscontrolling the ball. And I was just thinking, what is going on there? Surely Donny van de Beek can't do any worse than that. And I know he hasn't gone yet. And I think if the performances continue in that vein, then we might need to just stop this Donny loan or whatever is going on behind the background and just keep him in for him because he can't do any worse than what Mason Mount was doing. And also Bruno, he's meant to be our captain, our talisman. He was anything but yesterday. I didn't know what his role was as well because he looked like he was a bit flustered and just all over the place, misplacing passes, crossing into the stands. He was just all over the shop. And apart from that one moment that led to the goal, Bruno didn't do much to help the team and he just kept us under pressure. Him and Mount, they're the two main culprits in the team that just made it easy for Wolves to just walk through us, to walk through that midfield. It was an empty midfield, literally no one in sight, and it was just a walk in the park really for Wolves, and that should not be happening at Old Trafford. It shouldn't be happening full stop from when you compare the players that we've got to Wolves players and the predicament that Wolves came into the game. And also Garnacho, I think he still needs to remain as an impact sub player. I don't think he's ready to start games, and I think yesterday proved it. He looked well out of his depth. He just kept giving the ball away, putting passes too short for players, selling them short, and just getting tackled easily and shoved off the ball. It was almost like watching a championship player playing. It was almost like watching like Dan James or that caliber or Alanga, that caliber of player, where it's like every time they get the ball, they just do nothing with it. Also, I don't want to be too harsh on him because he's still young, but I think, he just needs to quickly get back on the bench. And I think his best work is when he comes on against tired legs, not fit and ready to go players. And I think yesterday showed that. And he should have got taken off a lot sooner, to be honest. But I think the manager didn't want to take him off too hastily. I think probably the thinking behind it was that he's a young player and he doesn't want to sort of just like dent his confidence by just taking him straight off at halftime. But really, that's what probably should have happened. And if it happened sooner, maybe we would have got a goal a lot sooner because the pattern of play with Wolves controlling the game still continued while he was on the pitch. And it was only until Sancho came on and Eriksen came on that the game changed slightly in our favour in terms of getting hold of the ball and sort of gaining a foothold in the game. Also, who else was there that was quite poor? I wasn't impressed with Rashford. I think his role should be on the left going forward. He's definitely not a centre forward. Sir Alex Ferguson said it as well. He's not a striker. And if you're going to pump the ball long up to Rashford, you're wasting your time. He doesn't win any aerial duels, and it's like he just jumps for the sake of it. You just don't have no confidence that he's going to win these aerial duels. And obviously, he's not good playing with his back to goal either. But obviously, we haven't got anything up front at the moment, so he's just going to have to sort of cover in that position until we get Hoyle and then maybe another striker in the window, hopefully. It just shows how short we are up front. And I think those are the main culprits, really, in terms of bad performances. But overall, as a team, it just wasn't up to the standards, really. But as we keep saying, we didn't play well, but we got the win, which is the most important thing, and we can only get better from it.
Yes, man. And of course, big up to, of course, Jesse Upton. Says, I still want to know who gave Mount the fucking number 7. Of course, there is only one person. Big up to Stephanie as well. That says big up Bruce Spats and the lads in chat. And of course, Amok, yes, as Jesse Upton says, he still wants to know who gave Mount the fucking number 7. Mount, the player that you rate yourself, and you was okay with the whole signing. What's your thoughts on Mason Mount's performances as well, and any other players that you thought didn't have a good game that you would like to talk about?
To be honest with you, I believe as fans we judging Mount too fast or too quick. This like his first Premier League match itself, and at the end of the day, I do understand the skepticism, performances, and everything, but the manager's working on something. Like I did say, I can see the manager's working on a new system, and he wants to fit in these players into the system. And things just to happen all of a sudden. It takes time. You can do it within yourself in training, but this is the actual real deal. And I don't want us to be upset because we haven't seen the performance that we all expect from Mount. Let's give him a chance. I still believe he's a very good player. If he settled down into United and do what he did when I actually first watching this player as a young player, I think he's going to be one of the best midfielders we've had for a very long time.
My question is, what was your thoughts on his performance yesterday?
I think it was terrible, like unexpected, and a bit disappointing as well, just because I like the player, and obviously I know what the fans might be saying, but it was a bit disappointing to see him play the way he did. But like I said, I also want to say it's the manager's system they're trying to implement. It takes time for players to settle down into the system. I don't want us to judge Mount too quick. I believe that he could do better, but yesterday was just a terrible performance. And Rashford, like Jerome said, was just terrible. All I saw was him running into players like the same old Rashford we've seen for the past few seasons. But like I said, it's a new season. Everyone's anxious. Everyone's can't wait to start. So at the end of the day, tension is going to be built around both teams. Like Jerome said, Wolf came out. They just got a new manager over there, and the way they performed, it's scary. But at the same time, it's the same thing. All Wolf, no performance, no goal. We as Manchester United fans should be really excited about the win because we all know what happened this season before, and it was a bit terrible. After we had the first 2 games, we lost both games, so we just have to take this win. Players now, I don't want to talk too much about the players. It's just the first match.
Yeah, but we have to talk about the players because it's on the agenda. At the end of the day, yeah, we have to criticize and praise.
I would, like
players.
I said, even as much as I feel like Varane had the goal, but in defense he was solid, and there was times that I feel like he was a little bit too slow. But obviously that's the way he plays, and then the manager knows, like, because there was this, I can't remember what hour it was within the match itself, but there was an attack that was coming. The way he came up, it was a bit too slow. If the play was a bit quicker, we should have considered that ball. And these are just things that I saw. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's a new season. And someone actually, I know everyone keeps saying Garnacho. I believe Garnacho is too young, like Jerome said. But take him off the team right now, I think it's a bit too harsh. Let's give these players chances. We've all seen how young players get into teams and develop into the roles that they want to play into. It's the first game. Players' performances was a bit dreadful. Like literally, I believe we should just give these players a chance. Giannacho was really terrible yesterday. He was like just running back and forth like a madman.
Not just bugging back and forth, misplacing passes, giving the ball away.
Like
everything that he made was a bad decision.
Like exactly, like Jerome said, the manager should have taken him off a bit early, but it would have been a bit too harsh on him. Like you do understand. I believe we've seen the best of him. We don't need to judge Garnacho based on just one performance in the beginning of the season. He's a player that we all know is the talent. It's going to be games that is going to show us the best side of him. All I say is this, in terms of performance yesterday, not just giving the ball away, but also making the wrong passes, running up and down for no reason, which I believe that it was just a bit annoying. And if you want to come down with the ball, be more creative. We didn't see no creativity from him yesterday. And I don't want to judge Anthony too much, but I believe he should have done better as well.
All eyes is on Anthony at the moment.
Yeah, no, like he should have done better as well.
He should have done better, man.
Like, the game, in terms of control, like doing what he does, it's good, but it's just that final third. It's not clinical enough, but I don't want to judge them too much because with Anthony, I can actually tell that he puts in his best. He dribbles, he does this, even though he loses the ball a lot as well. But in terms of controlling the ball, he does it better than most of the other players. It's just that final third. I think he needs to work on proper, like being more clinical.
I'm gonna go on to Jerome. Let's get in there, right there. First of all, I want to move up to you. I'm on. Your thoughts on manager's first game, everything that he did, and of course your man of the match, your donkey of the match of the game.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't happy with the way the manager set the team up because I don't know what he saw in pre-season, but as I said earlier in the show, Bruno and Mount, they're just getting each other's way, and they don't have any discipline in that midfield area, which you need for protection. And it just seems like they were just doing whatever they wanted, really. It was just like freestyle in midfield, and they just left Casemiro to manage everything. And it just looked like the manager either didn't have anyone to bring on to rectify that, or he just thought that the players on the pitch would just work it out in terms of their overall positioning, and nothing happened until we made some changes, really. So obviously the manager will take a lot from that game, and obviously we know that he's not going to get every decision right, and it's just all about progressing and learning from the errors in that game. Obviously we got away with the win, which is the main thing, but he'll look at that and analyze that behind the scenes throughout the week, and he'll be able to see what's needed in midfield in terms of reinforcements or changes to personnel or the system that we've got to make sure that we've got a bit more protection and solidity in midfield. So I think that will be his main concern, and obviously making sure that we can get Højlund to come in and give us a striker option in the attacking area. Then he's got a decision to make on Garnacho, whether he should return to the bench or whether he'll continue starting him to hopefully build him into a mainstay in the team. So overall, it was a bit up and down for the manager on his first game. But as I said, it's a results-based business, and he got the win, and that's the main thing. I'd rather play poor than win than play well and lose. So that's the way I see it, to be honest. In terms of donkey of the match, that was a difficult one because there was a lot of donkeys out on that field yesterday. A lot. Probably half the team. But for me, it was a close one between Mount and Bruno.
Mm-hmm.
But even though I'm not Bruno's biggest fan, I think I have to give it to Mason Mount. The only reason that that Bruno had the edge in not getting a donkey because Bruno played a part in the goal. But apart from that, he was awful throughout. But I just can't remember any positive thing that Mason Mount did yesterday. So he has to get donkey of the match. Obviously, like Gamuk said, it's the first game of the season. I don't want to be reactionary and say that Mason Mount is shit and he's not going to make it. He's not going to make the grade. Obviously, in my head, I might be thinking something totally different, but I don't want to be reactionary, and I just want to look at it objectively and be like, it's the first game. He's still bidding into the team, and it's a marathon, not a sprint. And hopefully, he grows into the team and into the role, and will be able to offer us something and give us a new dimension. Because obviously, the manager's seen something to fork out 60 mil for him, and that's his guy basically. And
you gotta stick by him. That's his guy.
Yeah, that's his guy. So yeah, he's got to do what Oli did with Maguire. Stick by him. So and yeah, in terms of the man of the match for our team, that's an easy one. It's got to be Varane. Didn't put a foot wrong in the team. Obviously got the winning goal, and he gave us a solid foundation at the back. Even though we had a lot of chances created against us, he sort of kept calm. He didn't sort of fold under the pressure, and only God knows what the scoreline would be if it was Maguire in the centre of defence and not Varane. So it was a relief in the end to have him, and he looked like he was the captain out there yesterday and not Bruno. So I think, yeah, so there's already question marks already after game one on whether the manager made the right call and making Bruno captain, because I didn't see no leadership yesterday. And it just looked like we just sort of fell over the line, really. So, but yeah, I'm definitely happy with Varane. Hopefully we can keep him fit now that he's retired from international duty. And yeah, long may that continue.
Yeah, long may it continue. So, guys, make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe to Red United TV, and of course, join to become a member of Red United TV, all different perks and etc. But me, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't give a shit, guys, regarding Mount. You know what I'm saying? I keep it real, man. I am that teacher that told Mount you're never gonna make it at Manchester United. I want him to prove me wrong, because he is my donkey of the match. You know, you was quite nice saying, I don't rate Bruno, but I'm gonna give it to Mount. Yeah, no, right. So Mount is my donkey of the match based on the fact that I saw nothing, and we didn't see anything. He was non-applicable if he was to give a match rating, because he wasn't, like I said, he didn't even recognize he was playing in the team. And when you did see him, you probably saw him trip over the ball when it was time. And I think you probably remember that clip where he tried to twist and turn and just fell on the floor. Man of the match has to go to Varane. What a guy as well. Before I even move up to you, let me just get what Stephanie said as well. If Casemiro was off from suspended or injured, United will struggle. We need reinforcement to assist him and ultimately replace him in a few years. Of course, we will be talking about Maguire straight after Amok says these bits. Maguire, you need to have some fucking self-awareness. He really doesn't. He doesn't. And a big up to Alaji as well that says that, do you think Rashford could win the Golden Boot this season or future seasons? He has a chance to, but not after that performance.
No, forget about that. Yeah. You're getting no Golden Boot.
One done MUFC says all our team loses the ball too much last night. We need to fix up quickly. I keep on saying before, I'm very sure Ten Hag is looking at that passing that they're doing on the pitch, and this is not what he taught him. This is not what he taught them as well. I don't believe so. Nah, they just sometimes just cave in when it comes to match day. In a training pitch is different, but on match day, you see people cave in, guys. I'm very sure you've had those friends on training day. They're magnificent. They go past 4 or 5 players, the whole team, score a goal. But when you come to playing the actual match, when it really matters, they're not the player that you expect them to be, bro. You're like, what happened to you, bro? Like, you just all of a sudden, you was the man, homie. Back in the training ground, you were the man. But on the football pitch, what the fuck happened to you? You're reciting stuff that 50 Cent himself said. But, okay, back to the show, guys. Stop the joking around. But, of course, the other part of the show, we've reached the second segment of our show. And, of course, it's based on Harry Maguire himself. I have to put aside to this because it was just too good a week ago, innit? Like when you saw the news that Harry Maguire, there's a deal agreed against West Ham. And then a weeks later, you're thinking every day Jerome was saying, you know what? All I want to see is Harry Maguire be sold. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, he said, I don't care. All I want to see is breaking news. I want to see a t-shirt until Harry Maguire's got the shirt up. He won't rest. And guess what, Jerome? Unfortunately,
My
the deal
worst
is off.
nightmare.
The deal is off, yes. And of course, like one done said, he needs some fucking awareness if he wants to fight for his future at Manchester United, which I don't believe he can, you know. So let me just go back to Stephanie Griffin in the comments. Says only Aaron Bissaka or Nana Varane from the starters can come out with any credit. Rashi needs to focus on the team, not himself. Twice in the first half, shot when no chance of scoring. Should have fed Garnacho. That's absolutely spawn, you know. The pass is there, but these men want to do their own thing. Especially yesterday when I saw Anthony running and you had Bruno on the side free. Pass it in, he decided to go to Marcus Rashford, who had players. Yeah, I keep on saying for our manager knows that's not what they taught him on the training ground, but they don't do what they're supposed to be doing. Big up Ems is watching as well. I'm got that fresh fade right now, Ems. I can hear that, bro. I told my brother that Matt was gonna be tired. That's what Olaji says. And Maguire loves the club, in it. Kiss my teeth. Manchester United fan, apparently, like I said before. But yeah, I'm gonna start off with you, Jerome.
I'm absolutely
Actually, wait. Did you get to say your man in the match? Don't kill the match. You didn't even say that to me. You did not interrupt me, you know. let us know who your man in the match is and you don't kill the match, and then you have the segment for the Maguire situation. You can roll in with that one. I am so sorry, you know.
That's okay, but I would give a don't kill the match to what's it called? Missy Mount, just based on the performances and everything. Like I did say it was a bit disappointing to watch him play yesterday. That's a fan of him, but definitely has to get that. And it's just a funny thing that I have to give my favorite player man of the match on his first day. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Move on, and I agree with you, man. I think Bellum was good, even though I feel like at times it was a bit slow. Like obviously, experience kicks in, and you can clearly tell the difference between Varane and about and a half that we've got. But it was a good, very good match for Varane yesterday. Not just the goal, just like Jerome said, he slightly was the captain, like telling people what to do, trying to make sure things work the way he wants it, and it was really good yesterday. So that's been good. And Maguire's thing, to be honest with you, like it's a bit disheartening. Like I don't get it. You've seen the entire social media, bloggers, news report, sports news, TV stations, everyone asking you to leave this club, not just because of treatment, but just because the performance you've put in, but yet still you want to stay. I give him great.
It's not even that. There's also concern about his mental health. They're even saying that I think he should leave based on his mental health as well, because of course you're getting booed every week. Like your own fans in the States, Australia, Dublin, Ireland, everywhere is getting booed.
I don't get it. Like it's really hard to understand. Like as a human, like you said, mental health, it's really hard. But for the fact that he wants to stay at the club, I rate him for that. Like he must have had some. Like I don't know. Like you've got a deal to leave the club, you refuse to take that deal, and you want to stay in the club. You can't put. I don't know. Let's just see what happens. Hopefully, the club sells him, but let's just see what happens.
Do you know what? I really hope so, guys. It's one of those things where they say, okay, the deal's off for now, and then later on, when it comes to close to the deadline, they reactivate their interest, and finally he signs. I just hope he sits on the bench for a bit longer and gets actually, no, that's a bit harsh for me to say. Get a bit more booze. That's just not nice, man. I'm not like this. I know I've got an agenda towards him, but I'm better than that. I am better than that. You know, Joe, your thoughts on this situation, man? What's going on, man? Your boy ain't moving, he's staying.
You know what? I can't even lie. I'm hugely disappointed. You know why? Not just the fact that Maguire is staying, but the fact that I think we were being misled by the media because they made us think that the deal was a done deal and the deal was agreed. But when I read up on it this evening, apparently Maguire's never even spoke to West Ham. He's not even spoken to Moyes.
Yep.
This guy had no intention of leaving at all. Basically, what happened was United and West Ham agreed a fee, and that was it. But the players, Maguire, just thinking, you don't have agreed a fee, so what? I've got 2 years left on my contract. I don't need to go anywhere if I don't want to go. So in the end, it looks like he just wants to stay and sit on the money. And it's not good for his long-term career. Obviously, he wants his money, and it looks like he wants to get a payoff. And I think that might have been one of the reasons why the deal fell through, because obviously United, they don't want to pay him off. They just want to shift him and get a transfer fee for a minute. And obviously, from Maguire's perspective, which I can kind of understand, is that obviously if he's earning 190k a week and West Ham can only offer him half that, then he's thinking, what am I leaving for a 50 or 40% pay reduction? So I could see where the stumbling block came, but ultimately, Maguire's not good enough for Man United. And if his ambition is just to sit on the bench or sit in the stands or play in the reserves for the next 2 years, then so be it. But it's not on the manager, because that wasn't his signing. Obviously, the manager wants him to leave and the manager wants to get better replacements in, but his hands are tied. And I still think that there's a chance that Maguire will still leave, like he said. I think it might be one of those deadline day dramas where the manager said, Maguire, just get the fuck out of there. I had enough. I think it might be like that. I think it's got to the point where obviously the manager's being professional and polite to the media, saying that Maguire needs to fight for his place, and I value him as a valuable member in the squad. Blah blah blah. I think when push comes to shove, you know what, Maguire, I've had enough. You're not reading the room. Find yourself a new club. I've cleared out your locker, and if you stay, then we're gonna just put you in the reserves, and you're not gonna be called upon in the first team. I think the manager's gonna have to play nasty and do something that like Mourinho or Pep would do. Because if it was Mourinho or Pep, he would have been gone already. As one of the lads said earlier in the group chat, he would have been gone in January because he's hardly played this the last year. So I don't know why he thinks that he's going to be getting a lot of game time this season, because we're trying to move forward as a club, not backwards. And the fact that he never came on yesterday, it just shows that the writing's on the wall. Lindelof came on, and he's behind Shaw, arguably, and centre back's not even Shaw's natural position. So something's got to give. My only hope is that we still got a couple of weeks left in the transfer window, and I think a deal can still be had. And I'm pretty confident that West Ham will come back in for him, because West Ham are probably going to be looked for other defensive reinforcements, and they'll probably realise that Maguire's probably going to be their best bet, and they'll probably go back in for him because he's ideal for the way David Moyes wants to play. So the deal makes sense for all parties. It's just that Maguire thinks that he's above West Ham, and he's not. And it's going to take him a long while to realise it. As one of the guys said in the chat, he ain't got no self-awareness, and someone just needs to have a word with him and just tell him that Maguire sitting on the bench or in the stands ain't going to do nothing for your England prospects. So if you still want to play for England at the Euros, you need to go to a club and play regularly and just rejuvenate your career again, because right now your career is in the bin. So you need to do something about it and not just sit on the money. We don't want another Phil Jones situation, because I think this would be worse than Phil Jones, to be honest, because Phil Jones was injured, Harry Maguire's fit, but he still doesn't mind sitting on the bench, which is quite alarming, really, for a top professional. But I guess money talks at the end of the day, and the guy wants his money.
Absolutely, money does talk, guys. Guys, as always, guys, make sure you smash that like button and share across all social media platforms as well. Subscribe to Red United TV, and of course, follow Red United TV on Instagram as we come close to the end of the show. Speaking on Harry Maguire, as you guys know, Harry Maguire has told the club, or told West Ham, or told whoever, he ain't leaving. He wants to stay here for another season so he can fight for his career. And of course, when we did sign him, we gave him a 6-year contract with an option to extend for a year. That's like a 7-year contract. And I can only blame one person for giving a stupid, ridiculous contract. And of course, that goes to the manager beforehand and the CEO that was there, Ed Stupid Woodward. But yeah, big up to One Don as well. Says that Maguire, open your eyes. It's going to get worse with fans. Yep. And I don't know. I don't think our own fans. I think at Old Trafford boo our owns too tough. That's what they say. We don't boo our own, but I've seen them boo our owns in the past. You guys get what I'm trying to say right now. I've seen that, but for Maguire, they're probably going to cheer him because he's one of theirs, and
I think Maguire will get ironic cheers.
You think so?
It won't be genuine. It'll be like, hey, like Maguire's coming on. The fridge is coming on. It'll be like that. It won't be like, yeah, we want you to stay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be funny. If he stays beyond the transfer window, he's going to be in for a very, very tough season, put it that way.
Mm-hmm. And big up one done as well. I love Onana so much. He will take out everybody before they score, no matter what. I saw him take out the opposition and also our own defender. And that's the type of goalkeeping we like. Take out everyone. Just to secure the ball that comes out, bro. Doesn't matter if you break man's leg as well. Like, just type of keepers to ramp with. That's no, I know, but you know what I mean. Clear your lines, and De Gea.
At least it comes out.
De Gea doesn't. De Gea doesn't come out. You know, you're the ones that you don't need to come out and play.
Wait, babysit, isn't it?
Yeah, you know them ones that you told De Gea catch me outside. He ain't coming outside, fam. He's not on it. But if you told Onana to pull up, come outside. Onana's definitely coming out, bro.
Definitely.
He's on it.
Back in it.
He's backing it out, coming out of his box. Yeah, chefing man up and then going back. But you see what I'm saying? Just not brave enough. I just don't think De Gea was brave. But yes, back to Maguire. Let's not get distracted, yeah. But we do love Onana as well, man. Of course, you know, we don't see that much successful black goalkeepers do well across the world as well. Like, and when we do have goalkeepers of that are black, they tend to make erratic mistakes and do stupid things and then fall down the line. Which Onana does us a little bit at times, but he's the best out of all those bunches, you know. I can't even name you many great black goalkeepers off the top of my head, apart from Dida. And most hopefully Onana, in it. And we would have said Mendy, but he's gone off the rail, isn't
He's gone now, isn't it?
Yeah,
well,
he's
did
gone off
the
the
Champions
rail.
League. You can say
he did win that. He did win that. But he won UEFA's best goalkeeper and all that stuff for that 1 year. But there was no consistency in terms of
just a one season wonder.
Yeah, man. But yeah, Maguire, will we sell him before, guys? Let's just round up the show. Will we sell Maguire? Do you believe we will sell him? It's just a joke. You do that, we're just playing. In 2 weeks we sold him, that kind of situation, or like we're really stuck with him.
I just hope the club is able to convince him to leave. Because clearly we can tell like it's not part of the manager's plans for the club itself. So you staying in the club and fight for your space, it's just a waste of time. Because for the past, for like almost a year, it's been on the media, blogs. You've seen, even yourself had discussions about this. So at the end of the day, you staying at the club that you said you love. It's a bit disappointing. But I hope the club is able to convince him for him to get access to the West Ham deal, or maybe another good offer. I really hope. But like Jerome said, it might be a deadline day hassle. It might be the surprise that we get. But I hope that happens though. What we have to do with Maguire's situation is hope. There's nothing. This is beyond all of us. Hope the club gets to sell him and leave the club.
Yes, definitely, man. And Jerome, what about you, man?
Yeah,
what do you think?
I'm going to put my neck on the line. I'm going to say I think Maguire is definitely going. I think worst case scenario is that Maguire will go off to a club on loan, and then we pay half of his wages, and then we bring a replacement in. And I think the way that would work is that we loan him out as last option, pay half his wages, get a new defender in, and when Maguire's out on loan, that'll just be the club saying that you're out and we don't want you to come back. So once that loan spell finishes, he'll see that we've already got a replacement in, and he'll know that coming back will just be stupid. And that will hopefully give him the message that you need to find yourself a club. And I think that's might just be the one of the tactical ways to get rid of Maguire. I think Gary Neville said it on the Monday Night Football yesterday. Just said that United are managing his exit from the club. And I think that might be the way to manage it. Ship him out on loan, get a replacement in, and then while he's doing his loan spell, during that period he can find a club. permanently, maybe stay at the club that he's at on loan, or look elsewhere. So I definitely think he's going. I can't see in any world where Maguire will just be sat there on the bench for the whole season, because I got a feeling that once the season really kicks off and we get going, he might not even make the bench. He might just end up being in the stands, because I can see us getting more reinforcements, and obviously the reinforcements that we bring in, they'll either be starting or they'll be on the bench. So there might not be any space for Maguire. So these are the things that he's going to need to consider over the next 2 weeks while the window's open for the move.
Yeah, let's hope so, guys. I'm just going to say the most unpopular thing, because knowing our club, I don't know, man, because I don't know. I feel like he might just be like, it was just April Fools and all that kind of stuff. Like, I was never leaving. I'm here until the end of the season. Yeah, let's just hope that nobody gets injured, like a centre back, that forces us to, not be able to sell Harry Maguire. Like the way we're unable to sell Henderson right now, because until we get someone in, then probably we can sell him. But of course, with the injury to the other guy, I keep forgetting his name.
Tom Heaton?
Yeah, Tom Heaton. Yeah, academy graduate and that, and still can't remember his name. That's how unimportant he was. And came back 2-3 seasons ago, and I still don't remember his name. That's how unimportant he is. But yes, guys, we have come to the end of the show. Of course, we're back to our normal time, Monday, 8 p.m. Guys. Today had to be Tuesday because yesterday we played on Monday and I had my watch along. Make sure you guys watch the match reaction against Wolves, which is uploaded yesterday. So make sure you watch that as well. Back live on Thursday for the latest Manchester United news at 5 p.m. UK time, and I'm live again 10 past 5 on Saturday for the big game against Spurs, Tottenham Cock Spurs versus Manchester United. Hopefully Manchester United can smack up Spurs. Of course, Spurs got a new manager, Kangaroo FC, Pogotoglou, whatever his name is, the Aussie man himself, former Celtic manager. And of course, they'll be playing some decent football, so we'll see how it goes, man. But of course, as they always say, styles make fights at the end of the day. So let's hope so, guys. And as always, at the end of the day, guys, it is what it is. All I have to tell you guys right now is just take it one game at a time. It is the first game, and I know a lot of Manchester United fans are just overreacting over one game and worried. But it's just the first game. People need to understand that a lot of players are just rusty. And they haven't gotten to the rhythm. Just wait until they get into the rhythm, So yeah, don't be too upset. Don't be too angry. Well, hopefully we beat Spurs on Saturday at the end of the day. But yes, guys, again, as I said before, smash that like button, subscribe, share across all social media platforms, become a member of Red United TV, do any different perks as well. And it's another way to get onto the show as well. If the higher, the bigger the perks you purchase, the more chances you get to be on the show as well for you guys. But yes, as always, as I end the show, remember to keep it united, guys. We did win our first game. We got the 3 points. And as always, remember to keep it Red United. We're out. See you next week, Monday, 8 p.m. for the catch-up 109. Peace out.